Do you ever wonder how to give your dog the comfortable recovery it deserves after surgery? We'll be having a special guest who came up with a genius alternative for a quick, comfortable recovery from spays, neuters, rashes, hot spots, and more. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Amber, your official veterinarian at Vital Pet Life.
Hey everyone, this is Donnie, your chief treat lady.
We're here to talk about pets, pet nutrition, and wellness, anything that can help our fur children live a longer, vibrant, and happier lives.
All right.
Yeah. Welcome to Vital Pet Life Podcast.
Some fur parents rarely talk about surgery aftercare, or some even have a lot of questions running through their minds on how to avoid hurting their fur baby while taking care of them after post-op or just letting them be without the additional scars when allergies occur. I mean, the common thing that we usually use is the cone of shame, but there's a genius alternative to the cone of shame. So let's engage in this interesting topic. Without further ado, let's welcome our special guest, Andrew of BellyGuard. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. It's an honor to be part of the Vital Pet Life podcast.
Yeah, we're excited for you to join us and discuss about how you basically started and thought about BellyGuard. Like, it's such a amazing product.
Yeah, it's actually quite an interesting story and one that I like to share because it's actually very near and dear to me. I actually came up with the idea of the product because my little Cavapoo, we actually have two Cavapoos, Bentley and Bailey, and my little Cavapoo Bailey actually had a rash on her stomach that just would not go away. Wow. And we tried all kinds of things. We thought maybe it was something in the grass, so we stopped treating the grass. We changed her diet. Long story short, the only thing that got the rash to go away was this medicated cream that we put on her stomach. But she continued to lick at the cream and lick off the cream, and I figured it's probably not good for her to ingest, and it was making the rash worse. So our vet recommended putting her in the cone, which we did, and it worked. But she was in the cone for, I think it was like 3 weeks or more, and she was miserable.
I bet. Like, I don't like it when I put the guys on a cone, especially tuxedo. Like, I feel so bad when he's on a cone.
It was effective. Like, she couldn't lick at the cream anymore. So that was good that she healed. But yeah, I mean, she was like tipping over the water bowl and like running into the table. Yeah, it was not her favorite thing.
I mean, and especially the cone that's available in the market that the vets. Sorry, Dr. Amber, like, I think you've noticed that too.
Yeah.
It's so big for their head. Like, I mean, I think it's made in a way wherein they shouldn't be able to like lick their area that's, but again, it's just so weird. Like, it's just too long for their head.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've seen a lot of dogs who have like the cone is too short, and so they get around it and they chew out their stitches. And, like, I mean, there's a time and a place for it. But like Andrew said, when you're treating something that requires weeks or months of treatment, and it is miserable to have them in that cone so long. Like, it's a different story if it's just a day or two, but when it's an ongoing thing, then it gets really uncomfortable, and the dogs run into the back of the owner's legs, and can't get through the dog door, and just hit into the stairs and all of that. So
yeah,
it can be cumbersome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And that's exactly where I was at. And so I actually have a background in product design and development.
Oh, nice.
Engineering.
Oh, cool.
So
cool.
That's my history before this.
amazing.
And so I was just like, you know what? There's got to be something else out there. And at the time, this was back in 2017. And I couldn't find anything. And so I actually asked the vet, and he told me to go to the store and get like a baby onesie, which conveniently she was the size of like a baby, a little pretty little dog. And so it kind of worked. Like I cut a little hole for the tail. And I was like, you know what, like, why don't I make something like this that's so the snaps are in the right place so the dogs can't get at it, and then there's also different sizes for different breeds of dog. And so that is kind of the story of how we got started back in 2017.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Like it does looks like a onesie, and it's not as tight as a thunder shirt.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if it's too tight, the problem with that too, it might create like other problems, especially to the scar area. But yeah, this is really comfortable. I feel like it's just a shirt. That's good. That's good that you were able
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, the tightness, it's loose so that there's no rubbing or
Mm-hmm.
and on any sutures, and that way also it gets the proper ventilation because it needs
Yeah.
air to be dry in order to heal.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is if dogs do try to kind of start licking,
Mm-hmm.
if the fabric was right up against the sutures, they could
Yeah.
essentially
Yeah.
lick right through. But
Exactly.
it acts as a layer, a barrier of protection.
Yeah.
So you started the business in 2017, just like Vital Pet Life, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah. I think 2017 was like probably a world for people opening up to for babies. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that happened during that time that everybody was a little bit like creative in, building or creating businesses out of their fur babies.
Yeah, there must have been, I don't know, maybe there was something in the air.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, so once you came up with this idea, what was your path forward? Kind of how did you develop the product itself and your business after that?
Yeah, a good question. So thankfully, because of my career working in engineering and product development, this is something I had done multiple times before, not in the pet industry, but
Yeah.
in actually in the tool industry. And so it was a slow process at first, making samples, sourcing materials,
Mm.
and testing it. The first step was to test it. I know it worked for me and I loved it,
Mhm.
but I wanted to make sure that it was a product that other people also
Would love and
valued
use.
and
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
use and could benefit other pets. And so there's a period of product testing and lots of iterations on the product to improve the function and the fit and to make the bathroom process going to the bathroom easy in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
product, which is something we'll talk about a little bit later. So that was it, and then once I got to a place where we had tested the product thoroughly and we knew we had good quality product, we launched online. So we launched on Amazon in 2017, and we also are on Chewy, and we sell direct to veterinarians as well.
Amazing.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
That's cool. So, Dr. Amber, what are the common surgeries? I mean, we kind of know that a lot of dogs go through a lot of surgeries, but what are the common ones that you guys really encounter all the time in practice, and then that can benefit from the belly guard? Like,
Yeah. So definitely spays and neuters, of course.
yeah,
And, all ages of dogs. Sometimes they wait, owners wait a little bit longer and spay and neuter their adult dogs, but puppies for sure, and kittens. So, other things that you might see are like foreign bodies. I mean, dogs like to eat weird stuff and require surgery sometimes.
oh gosh,
Lots of laceration repairs,
mm,
tumors, even, benign or malignant tumors that need removed. So I could see, looking at the design of the belly guard, like just anything on the body
yeah,
would benefit from this. And I do like the loose fit. We
I
talked a
like the
little bit.
snaps.
Yeah, the snaps, the loose fit. The thunder shirt is actually made for a different purpose. It's made for anxiety,
I
and so
think
that's
so
why it's
tight.
so tight fitting. It's
Yeah.
like meant to be kind of a hug, and for some reason that calms dogs down. It can be. I had never actually recommended it for aftercare, probably because I just didn't think about it. But I do
Mm-hmm.
like the fit of the belly guard being, covered, like the body covered, but
Yeah.
loose. Because those thunder shirts are pretty tight. And so, like
Yeah.
Andrew said, if you have a stitch line and you're trying to like pull that tight shirt over the
Mm-hmm.
body, you could disturb
Yeah.
that too. So,
I know, like, because like I was imagining it like without even like looking at the product. Like it was like, oh, maybe it will look like a thunder shirt, because I could imagine like it's like a shirt, but like being tight to the body and it won't move. But when I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's good, because like it's pretty much secure in
yeah.
areas that they shouldn't be, like easily that they can move and open up. but in the belly area, it's kind of loose, where it needs some air, especially if it needs a lot of healing time
Yeah.
for yeah, it's
Well, and
amazing.
with like some smaller pets, I had recommended baby onesies, but of course, like our arms, human arms come out the side,
Yeah.
dog arms come out the bottom. And so just having this design that's specifically designed for a dog body.
So I have a question though. Like, so Andrew, I have a fashion degree, and I
Okay.
went through like creating like clothes for baby clothes, and we do have sizing, we have a sample size for a specific body type. So I wonder, since with dogs, we have like different body types. What is your like sample size? Or do you have like specific, let's say for large breeds, small, medium breed, and the tiny breeds? Like, do you have like specific fit sizing?
Yeah, yeah, and really, you hit the nail on the head. There are lots of different types and sizes of dog, but we do have 7 different sizes, and so it ranges from, your smallest dogs to we had our XXL, which we've seen Great Danes and
Oh
probably
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
younger
I can
dogs.
imagine. Yeah.
And so, but sizing can be a challenge. We give people lots of different ways to try to find it. The best way to get the right size is by measuring the length of the dog, and so we recommend that people measure from the back of the neck to the base of the tail. And so that's kind of the most critical dimension, because the product could be a little looser or a little tighter around around the stomach or around any sutures. But it is a little bit of a challenge, because depending on the age of the dog,
Yeah.
a lab puppy is going to look a lot different from a 3-year-old
Full
lab,
grown.
or
Yeah.
2-year-old
Yeah.
lab. Yeah. So
That's
um,
exciting though. Like, I bet that's where your creativity comes up. Like, you're
mhm.
being challenged and like creating the right fit for your consumers,
One other area that we've seen some people use the product is actually, it's not surgery application, but for like skin disease. So
Oh.
minor hot spots, rashes, that
Mhm.
kind of thing on the body. And that's going back to with Bailey, how we kind of came up with it.
How you
So
started.
how we
Yeah.
started, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And I could see that being really beneficial again with the fit, just kind of loose fitting, breathable.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
you definitely don't want them to be licking that, but you don't want to put a bandage over it where it's just kind of trapping in everything. And so having that, protected, but still able to breathe and heal.
Do you use like a wicking fabric, or like, I mean, I know there's a lot of like I mean, since I finished school, like there's so many
hmm
innovation in the fabric space. Like bamboo is pretty good, like tencels and all those stuff.
Early on, we tested some different fabrics that
Mm-hmm.
had more, maybe water resistance properties
Mm-hmm.
to them, or water wicking properties. But actually, what we found is that the more breathable the better. The more
Mm-hmm.
airflow and ventilation is going to keep it
Mm-hmm.
dry and also promote healing.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So so yeah, it's a pure. The material is a cotton with a
Mm-hmm.
little bit of spandex for a little bit extra
Mm,
stretch.
stretch. Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. That's good. Do you have it manufactured like locally here in the US or overseas?
So initially, our first run of product samples was made locally, with all the back and forth to the. It was more of like a prototyping facility, I would
Yeah.
say, than a manufacturer. But no, our
Mm,
products are designed in the U.S. but manufactured overseas.
that's cool. Yeah. And then do you guys change? Okay, so again, my there's like the fashion
Designer
brain.
Donnie.
Yeah, it's not the yeah. I'm because I know like we need to change like color for season. Are you guys also doing that, or it's just like stick to what works?
We have 3 colors. So we have like a gray, a blue, and a maroon.
Uh
And
huh.
then the blue and the maroon have it's kind of like a fun. They're a little more fun. They
Mm-hmm.
have a printing on the back, and it says "Rough Life," RUFF Life.
Nice.
Kind of like a little play on words there. So we thought that was a little fun. But we don't do it. We haven't historically. I won't say we don't, but historically we haven't done anything crazy in terms of holiday prints or anything like that. We found that this is more of a necessity purchase.
Yeah.
You come home from the vet and your dog has the cone on, or perhaps the vet recommends purchasing a BellyGuard, and so it's like hey, oh, I need this now. And so it's more of there's not a whole lot of planning in terms of like, oh, look, there's a cool new style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Which
more of
is
an immediate
good
purchase.
because it could be like, you can just focus on creating like innovation and making sure that it will be, great, way better, or at the same time, like, I mean, because, in fashion, like you think about all the different colors for spring, summer, and all that. I'm
Mhm.
just curious if you guys go through that because it's like clothing, but I
And
am, yeah.
maybe it's something I should think about. That I'll have to talk to designer Donnie. That is not up my.
I'm just curious because like that's something that I'm like, oh, that would be cool, like if you release like, Christmas or like
Mhm.
spring summer colors, because like it's pretty easy, but again, what works. I feel like if it's not really needed, why do it, and just focus like for like innovation and how to create like a better fabric, or how to make it better if there's some new technology moving forward that
Absolutely. There we go. Stay
yeah.
tuned, people. Maybe there'll be a new design coming soon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So what about like bathroom times? Like how does this work? Like I think you mentioned something. Um, is it something special that people?
Yes. So this is a great question
Yeah.
because this is one of the areas where our product really, really shines.
Mm,
So going to the bathroom is a little bit of a challenge because
mm,
obviously basically the entire body of the dog is covered. And so some of there's some systems and styles out there where you have to take the product completely off. But with ours, we have a patented what we call clip up system. So you
mm,
basically undo the snaps in the
mm,
back, and then you roll up the product and clip it up at the chest. And so the dog can go outside, go to the bathroom without having to remove the product, which is a huge plus. Because if your dogs are like mine, they want to go outside every 20 minutes, they're scratching
mm.
at the door, especially in the summer when it's nice. And it's like, okay, you're playing dress up all day. So, um, yes. So you don't need to remove the product. You just clip basically away the back area so that they can go to the bathroom. You can go on a walk with the dog.
That's
So,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, this like when I looked at your website and looked at that design, I was just like, this is brilliant. Something so
Yeah.
simple, but so brilliant.
Exactly.
So, just for example, I had a 70-pound lab mix, and several years ago, I found a cancerous tumor. It was very small, luckily, but right on his belly, on his chest area. So I removed it, and of course, came home. He woke up from surgery and just started licking it. So I, at that time, put one of my husband's t-shirts on him and but it was of course really big at the waist. So I put a knot there and I'm like, okay, he's covered. Well, then, I let him out to go to the bathroom and I'm looking out and the knot had come out and the shirt was hanging down and he was peeing right into the shirt. And
Oh,
so then I'm like, well, I can't bathe him after surgery, and now
yeah.
he's got this pee covered shirt. And anyway, where was this product when I needed it? No,
There you go.
I mean,
There you
it's
go.
brilliant. So tell me like how you came up with something so simple and so brilliant with these snaps.
So, I mean, I have to go back again to the, just design engineering background. Like a lot of times
Yep.
what we do, what makes the best product is you look for a problem, you look for
Yeah.
frustration. And so that was one of the things with, way back when originally when I was using the baby onesie on my dog to take her out to the bathroom, I either had to completely take it off of her or I unsnapped it and it was just like
Hmm.
hanging on the ground. And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, it's getting muddy, dirty. She's peeing on it. So how do I get this out of the way? And how do I do it simply so that it's, you don't have to roll or fold or, do a whole big process. But we actually even color code the snaps. And so on the back, there's a black snap at the
Aw,
chest and there's a black snap on the back. So you know which two snaps to connect.
Oh,
that's
that's
and so
brilliant.
awesome.
we
Yeah.
try to
That's
make
so
it
amazing.
as easy as possible. And the other cool benefit of the clip up system, it also functions as, if the vet's using it in practice and they're just going to, or at home, and you just need to check on the sutures. Let's make sure they're dry. Let's make sure there's
Yeah, just to check.
you
Open
can
it.
easily clip it up, check,
my
clip it
God.
back without having to completely take off the product.
It's just so amazing. Like I'm reading it too that you guys even have like a pouch to hold gauze pads, and I'm like, wow, it's really well thought out.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
like
that
it.
is so cool.
I mean, I feel like even if your dog, again, as you've mentioned, like this happened because of an allergy of your dog, like you don't need to have a major surgery to have it. It's like, I feel like it's like one of those things that you have to put in your cupboard for your like, uh, you know, kit. Like if you need anything, oh, I have
Emergency
it
kit.
here. Emergency kit. Yeah, that should
Yeah.
be something that you promote, Andrew. Like, you know that you need this cleaning and all those stuff. Like every dog parent or fur parent. Does it work with cats too? Just wondering.
So the bathroom situation is a little different for cats because
Okay.
of the litter box. So
Okay.
we do not recommend it for cats.
Okay. All right. So just for dogs,
Yeah.
guys. Like, but yeah, every fur parent, like dog parent, should have it in their home. Like I'm gonna buy for tuxedo.
Yeah. Well,
or
I can
the little
even
guy.
I can even see it being used for like if you're on a hike and you have a really fuzzy
Yeah.
dog and you just want to protect them from the weeds. Like here where I
Yeah.
live, and I think in California where you are, Donnie,
Mhm.
we have the foxtails
Oh
everywhere.
yeah.
And so just to like have that as kind of a protection for those little weed seeds that can cause so many problems.
Yeah, the prickers, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
prickers. Yeah. Yep.
I have an idea for Andrew. Like, I don't know if this is in your list, but this could also be, I feel the whole like engineering of how the snaps work. This could be good for raincoats too, because none of the raincoats I've seen in the market really, I don't really like it. Like, and Tuxedo hates it. So maybe change the fabrication to maybe, those athleisure kind of fabric. And there's a lot of like, fabrication that's available here in LA. Like I know some of the manufacturers, like maybe you can do that.
I love
Even
it. It's a
yeah,
great
and
idea.
yeah, I mean it's just another SKU for BellyGuard. Because I
Mhm.
feel like the whole engineering, the whole thought process and how it's done, like it will really help when it comes to rainy season. Like, I mean, we've been getting a lot of rain for the past 2 years here in California, and it was such a stressful time for Taxi. And I don't know, like he hates wearing his raincoat, but he needs to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too about wearing it for other applications too,
Yeah.
because we've had, we don't typically recommend it or promote it, but we've had plenty of people say, my dog loves this so much, we'll wear it in the cold, in the winter if it's cold out
Yeah.
or something.
That could be a
'Cause-
plus. That could be
Yeah.
your
Yep,
spring, summer, and then you can have your fall, winter collection, which is
there we go.
maybe a little bit like padded, like yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, as I said, the thought process of just having a clip on, taking it off for them to pee easily is the thing that got me. Having a raincoat and I have to take out, like, they have a rubber band for both of the back legs, and then Tuxie doesn't want to do it. Like, oh my God, like in the middle of peeing, like I have to pull it out for him. And of course, it's not convenient for you and the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, how washable is it?
Yeah.
It is washable. So it's been pre-washed, so there won't be any kind of like shrinkage.
Nice.
But it is washable and reusable. Yep. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you always hate, like, I mean, dogs, they get dirty, no matter what you do. And
Yeah.
so it's always a bummer when you buy a product and you're like, hand wash only or something, or, do not put in the washer. And so to have something that's just really convenient, take it off, throw it in the washer, and you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. What else, Dr. Amber? Like, I feel like I'm still like thinking about how great the product is. Like, I want to buy it for
Yeah.
Tessie.
Honestly, Andrew, like sometimes I see a product and I'm like, Okay, but like in reality, I don't think this would work. Like it looks
Yeah,
good. Maybe someone would buy it because of the looks or they think it's going to work. But like this truly it amazed me when I saw the design. It's
I
just so cool.
know.
Like
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
I okay. Can I say something too? Like the engineered area by the tail. That I
Hmm.
feel like that's the most important thing for me. Like I can't see though, like from where the butt area is, but is it covered or?
Yeah. So there's a rear flap. There's a basically a tail, a circle or an oval for the tail opening,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's snaps on either side. So it snaps closed. It does cover pretty much the whole rear of the dog except for the
Mm-hmm.
legs.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
So
so it does the back come out like above the tail and then it snaps around the tail like this? So when you open the flap, like the whole area is open, or how does that work?
So I think so. Yes, if I'm visualizing it correctly, what you're saying correctly. So it snaps closed. It's basically snaps on the back, like right at the, or I guess the
oh
waist,
yeah, the waist. Yeah,
where
I
kind
saw
of the
that.
Okay.
butt and the waist kind of connect. So you can unsnap it there, but there actually are another design element. There actually are two rows of snaps. So the length measurement is kind of the most critical,
Mm-hmm.
because if it's too long, there's typically a gap around the legs. And so a
Mm-hmm.
long dog could kind of get their nose around and get their nose in there. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a little bit of adjustability in the length with two rows of
Oh,
snaps.
cool.
And so, yeah, it would unsnap at the on their back where their back meets their butt, and then the flap you would basically like pull their tail out of the flap, and then it
Okay.
would be hanging there kind of loosely. So you'd have to then kind of scoop it between their legs and bring it up to their chest, the
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
the flap part, and it would clip up out of the way there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
there's not like a hole that you have to feed their tail through,
No, no, it's just
which
the.
Um, you do feed their tail through the rear part. Yeah,
okay.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
but that can be pulled out because I saw that there's snap on top of the tail, so that's the one thing that you're talking about, and you can put it in front of the chest, right? I mean,
Yes.
I'm looking at it. Yeah. Oh, I like it. So where can we? I mean, other than Chewy and Amazon, is there any? I mean, other than also getting from vets, is there any retail stores that we can get it from? Like, is Petco, Walmart? Like, is there any?
No retail at the moment. We are an e-commerce business right now, so Amazon, Chewy, and possibly a vet near you. So we do have a whole bunch of veterinary practices that purchase and stock our product directly, so just for
Oh,
the convenience of their customers to be able to have it when they come in, or even use
Yeah.
it. Some even use it in practice for dogs staying overnight.
mm,
Yeah, that
mm.
that would be great to have, like you have a hospitalized patient and just to
Yeah,
have that in hospital too.
yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
we've really found that dogs using it just are so much more calm and comfortable wearing
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
it that
Then the
they typically don't even mess with their sutures at all. They just
oh,
leave it be. And
that's
so
nice.
one cool thing too, we found there's a study from the University of Australia that was essentially talking about um, some of the detriments of the cone. And they
Mm-hmm.
didn't necessarily talk about and compared to a recovery onesie, but we firmly believe that with the dog's level of just comfort and relaxation, that they actually heal and recover quickly because
Oh,
they're so much less
totally.
stressed
Yeah.
in the onesie. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Well, it's really good that this is a product that's available in the market. Like and I didn't even know anything about it when not until Kyle mentioned this to me, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like I didn't really know anything about like a guard, like a belly guard. Yeah, because again, most of the surgery that I know, like especially major ones, are usually in the belly area, like neuter. I mean, I feel like neuter spaying is kind of
mm,
major for me. And we experienced that with Tuxedo. Tuxedo had his bladder stone taken out in like 2 years ago. And it was tough because like he was in a cone. Like I need to make sure that he's not like I'm always in a fight and flight mode, staring at him like, is he licking? Like, because like the stitches, like I need to make sure the stitches isn't like ripped
Hmm.
off or like, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And like you were talking about with your own dog, like licking off the medication, that's a huge
Yeah.
thing. Like I like to use topical products in pets, but if they can lick it off, first
There's,
off, they're not supposed to ingest it. Second,
Hmm.
it's not doing its job if it's not staying on the
yeah.
skin. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it can be so hard to get them to stop licking.
Yeah, especially with just a cone, like
Yeah.
they still can like we stopped using the cone. We have the burger, like Kyle found it on Amazon. Like it's like a one of those floaters that they put in his head. But again, it loosens up. He figures out a way to basically lick his area, like
Like
where
it's an inflatable, like an
yeah,
inflatable.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is way better.
The inflatable one. So for our my other dog Bentley,
Mm-hmm.
he's even more sensitive. So like if I put him in like one of those blue inflatable collars, he just lays on the ground and stares at me and won't move.
Doesn't move.
So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, especially for longer dogs, I found if the dog is a little bit of a longer breed, with
Mm,
those inflatable collars, they can typically turn around and still get at
yeah.
Yep,
a sensitive area, whether it's
for sure.
sutured. Yeah.
It took us a while. Like we have to really lure him into like wearing the cone before. I mean the inflatable one before he has his surgery. So we give him treats. So we play with it. Like it took him a while. That okay, this is fine. But of course, I know that he doesn't like it because he gets really grumpy and stares at you. So and again, I feel bad.
So you're saying before surgery, you
Yeah.
put him in the cone or the
Yeah.
inflatable donut, and then you
Yeah.
yeah.
And then me and Cal were always like, "Oh, you're so handsome!" We had to so he stares at us, and I'm like, "Okay, seems like this is fun." So yeah, we I think for like a week we've been giving him like 30 minutes of the cone, and we give him treats. We play around it. He was not happy, but of course food adverse. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do this because I'm getting treats.
That's a great idea though, to get them used to it beforehand, and that's definitely definitely a recommendation I have. If for anyone using BellyGuard, because A, you want to make sure the sizing is right and it fits,
Yeah.
and then B, yeah, any kind of practice that the dog can get used to it
Yeah.
before surgery
Yeah.
is really key. The only time I really don't recommend BellyGuard is if you have a dog that just loves to chew things and they're chewing on shoes and the leg of your chair and all of that kind of stuff. That's the only time when it's like, all right, maybe in that case you want to put a BellyGuard and a hard cone and a soft cone too, just because with any product,
Triple.
yeah, triple layer of protection, because
Oh
you know
god.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
and
of
just
them are
keeping
so wily.
yeah.
They get bored and they're like they start like eating what's on their body.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. But Andrew, I'm super excited for you. Like I feel like BellyGuard has a lot of potential. Like I mean it's fun. I bet like you guys were able to hit out like a very great product that's in the market, and it's been 7 years and it seems like you really know who your consumers are. But I feel like BellyGuard has a lot of potential to grow, like
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about, I don't know, my brain right now is thinking about, ooh, maybe they should do raincoats.
So what our plan right now, what we're going to be focusing on is in our kind of mission is to solve problems for our customers in the pet recovery space. So specifically
Mm,
surgery recovery, and really focusing on surgery recovery products that are
mm,
going to meet needs for our consumers, that are innovative, that
mm.
are convenient, and that are comfortable,
Yeah.
so that we can just improve the recovery experience for
I
pet.
mean, that's a good niche too. I feel again, if you want to go through that route, there's still a lot of space if you can partner or create wellness kit for dogs, and that could be like a highlight. Maybe Dr. Amber, you can give ideas on what is needed, like aftercare, right after
Yeah.
every surgery.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that vision you have, because you can come up with the best, what you think is the best product. But if it's not comfortable for the pet and it's not easy for the owner to use, then they're just not going to use it. There's not going to be compliance there. And so, designing a product that's really specific, but very easy for the owner to use and comfortable for the dog, I think is just a great value to have.
Yeah, totally.
That's exactly what we're aiming to do. So I'm glad.
Thanks for Andrew.
I'm
Andrew
glad
for
you
doing.
agree. I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
And no spoilers, but I will say I've been putting my designer hat on a little bit recently. So
Nice.
That's good. That's
That
good.
is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you launch your next product, you can come back on the podcast and talk to us about that one.
oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm excited to see another belly guard for hiking, camping, and like my brain just like getting like warm because I like that you're also an engineer. I feel part of being fashion, like I feel there has to be a sense of engineering. I can design like the best clothes, color, whatever, but having a technical guide to really help you figure out if this works, that'll be amazing. I mean, you already have it through BellyGuard. The thought process of like the snapping, that's cool. I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, I like how you framed it of seeing a problem and solving it. In my house, shout out to Mark Rober. We are like huge Mark Rober fans here. And, my kids took an engineering class that he did online a few years ago. And he said, find a problem and solve it. And I think you've done that with the BellyGuard. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Thank you once again, Andrew of BellyGuard, for joining us and for being our episode's special guest.
Yeah, I'm really excited to learn about your product, Andrew. Thank you for coming. And I'm excited for something that I can recommend to other vets and to clients for recovery after surgery.
Thank you so much for having me, Donnie and Dr. Amber. It was an honor to be here and to talk with you today. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's it for today's special episode. Thank you for tuning in, our dear listeners. Don't forget to follow our channel for more talks about pets, tips, advice, and fun stuff.
Happiness, vibrance, and longevity for our fur babies and our planet.
This is Dr. Amber, your official veterinarian at Vital Pet Life.
This is Donnie, your chief treat lady at Vital Pet Life. Have a podtastic day. Until next time.
And then, like, some of them, as soon as they leave the clinic, they go like, and it's off, No, all that hard work.
Yeah.
Thanks again for having me. It really was a lot of fun, and it was a pleasure to talk to you both.
I am, like, seriously excited about that product. It looks so cool. Oh, yeah. And by the way, I use your salmon oil. My dogs love it. Yeah, that was cool.